Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Gimbetti along with Mike Egan. After what, a 2-week hiatus?
I'm just glad to see you smile and laugh a little bit. I thought we were going to start with the Twins, and you'd really be down the tubes.
Don't get me started right away. Mr. Werkela got me all fired up this morning. And then I checked the box score out, and I saw the 4 pitchers they used in that game yesterday, and you wonder why they got beat 9-4.
Yep.
So, but we'll start with high school sports today because that's obviously in the news.
And not much too good news there either.
No, there isn't, but there is cross country is right now is the shining star, I would say, of the programs there because they went over to Rock Ridge Invite and swept it. Both the boys and girls won. Tara Hertley and I was second, I believe, in the girls' race, and I believe she won a race. Well, I'm not sure. I won't say that. But she's been placing in the top 5 in the 2 races that they've had. And today they have a meet at Eagles Ridge in Coleraine. So we'll see how that goes for them. I hope everything goes well. Brady Janicic has been running well. He ran a low 17 the other day in Rock Ridge, and Jake Wally actually was under 18 minutes. So they got 2 runners there, but they have a strong team, and it looks like both teams will challenge for section spots.
I think, and they're well coached with Coach Police and Coach Serena Sullivan, and they have some kids. I mean, you got some kids that can run. You're going to have a successful program.
Well, and you can be as good. I've probably said it a million times on this show, but in running, you can be as good as you want to be if you put the effort in.
Yeah,
and
I'm sorry, it's definitely an individual sport. So if you can motivate a kid to get out and run, you know what it would take for us to get out and run?
No motivation to
No
do
motivation.
that at all. Yeah, you just. I guess I lost my train of thought now, but.
That's all right. Trains come.
Well, I guess I got it back. Yeah, they come and go from the station, but we know they can run 5Ks.
Yep.
Running the 5K isn't the issue for the kids. It's the speed work.
Right.
And if you can have that last burst of speed for say the last 400 to 800 meters of a race, you're gonna do well. So I think that's the biggest key is just the speed now. Because they can all run 5Ks. I mean, I think it's 5,000.
Yep.
I think it's a 5,000. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not good at math. So.
And the weather can be a little chilly over there today.
Well, it should be. So it should be decent weather to run in.
You ever play that golf course?
I've played it, yes, but not for a while now.
Oh.
But it's a nice course.
Hilly.
Yeah, and it's
rocky.
You can't see most of the race. I was there for the Section 7A meet last year, and you can't see the whole race, but I'm sure they have them winding all the way through that front 9 anyway. I don't think they hit the back 9, but I know it's on the front 9. So good luck to them. The football team, they got beat 55-0 against Rock Ridge last Thursday. And, it looked for a second like they were going to be okay because Rock Ridge took the ball first and drove, and we stopped them on downs.
Yep.
And then we took the ball over, then we punted, and they muffed the punt. We recovered the punt inside their 50-yard line. But then right away, first play right after that,
boom,
we fumbled.
Yep.
And they got it back. And then the lightning hit.
Hey, waited half an hour.
Yeah, they delayed until 7 o'clock, evidently. I got there late, but by the time I had gotten back there, in just that 8 minutes left in the first quarter, it was 20-0.
Well, originally the game was supposed to be moved to 4 o'clock. And they contacted Rock Ridge. Their coach said they couldn't get there till 5 o'clock. So they moved it to 5 o'clock. And then the lightning. Then you got to wait 30 minutes for each lightning strike. So they would have been better off to starting the game at the normal time of 7 o'clock, because that's what it ended.
Yeah, that's when it started anyway. No. But to be down by 3 scores already after that lightning delay, and I thought it was promising because they did stop them. I know now obviously Rock Ridge took a couple penalties, but hey, that's a part of the game. Can't take penalties or it stalls your drives. And then I thought that they had some pretty good running backs. We did. I mean, we've got like 4 or 5 of them. And the quarterback's young. I get it. He's Dylan Vessel. I thought he did a wonderful job, even though I know it was his first game. And I think they had a pick 6 for one of their scores in that 20-0 run there. But hey, he's a sophomore, I believe, and he'll get better because he threw some really nice passes later on in the game.
Yeah, they don't flutter.
No,
I mean,
he was very good, and his receivers made some outstanding catches. I don't know their names offhand, but he made one nice late in the game. He made one nice pass that the receiver caught, and as he was breaking downfield, he forgot to
bring the ball with him.
Bring the ball. Well, yeah, he didn't tuck it in, and then it got knocked out for a
Right.
fumble, and Rockridge recovered.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when things aren't going well. That's the kind of things that happen. So.
Well, we just hope that they progress over the course of the year here and get a little bit better. I think their next game is
They play tomorrow at Duluth East, I believe. And
it's got probably 70 kids on the sideline.
and they just got done beating Esco
Right.
last week. So, and Esco usually manhandles Duluth East.
Yeah. Well, Esco doesn't have the big running back.
Well,
anymore.
they don't anymore, so we'll see just how good they are
Yeah.
when I think Hibbing plays them down there this
Yeah.
year. But I don't. And I hate to use excuses, but I think it just comes down to having a more competitive schedule. Playing teams that.
Well, unfortunately, in order to do that, you have to. And your scheduling and your seat, where you're set, where you play, is based on the amount of kids you have in school. So that's one of their problems. They're one of the bigger schools, so they got to play the bigger schools. But do they go back and play in the Lake Conference again? What they had 2 years ago,
Oh.
Lake Superior Conference. Is that what it was called?
Well, they play some teams from there. I know
Right.
like Two Harbors and Proctor are part of that. Rapids, I think, is a part of that. But I honestly think you should play teams like Chisholm, and you should play Greenway, Nashua, Keewatin.
Yep. Used to.
Get rid of Duluth East.
Yeah.
That's a 5A school right there. And East, again, a good example. They come here and they play all these teams, and then when they get to the playoffs, they're playing Anoka and all those teams from the cities, and then they get beat right away.
Right.
Now, maybe Duluth East has a team this year that maybe can, impress some people, but I don't know. But yeah, it's when you say Hibbing and Chisholm playing in football, it seems like a far-fetched, but really it isn't.
Comes down to numbers.
Yeah. And I don't know if we have any more numbers than Chisholm.
And they had a tough game last week too. They were manhandled pretty good, and unfortunately, they've got players that just like Hibbing does that are playing both offense, defense, special teams, and we've talked for years. You start beating on a kid for 2-3 quarters, he's not gonna be around in the fourth quarter.
So you're going to be pretty beaten down by the time that last 12 minutes comes along.
Well, especially if you got a freshman, sophomore on the line, and he's got a senior or junior across from him. It's a big difference. And
Yeah,
1 year
it
makes
is.
a big difference.
You get beat down.
Yep.
Soccer's, the boys lost 5-0 to Hermantown on Tuesday, and then the girls took on Esco last night, which it's now no longer the Eskimos.
Oh.
It's just the Esco High School. They
Whatever.
had to drop that. They had to drop the team name,
Okay.
the nickname. So Esco beat them 9-0 last night. Unfortunately, I mean they had Esco controlled the ball for I probably say 85 of them. Oh wait, they only play 80 minutes. So say 70 of the
78
70, yeah, for 70 of the 80 minutes. And it's not funny. I'm not making light of it, but the Hibbing just didn't get anything going offensively. They only had a couple shots on net, and that was it.
Yeah. And be honest with you, I'm not real familiar with soccer and how it's played. You watch it on TV. I'm going, what are these guys, kicking it back and forth? But they actually have plays. They actually have offside. So hopefully I can learn a little bit more about the game. But yeah, that's unfortunate again. And I get, Now, did they play at the new field or did they play on the grass?
Their first game I was at Vic Power, and then yesterday's game was at Cheever,
Okay.
because they did play the JV game at the same time over at Vic Power.
Okay.
So, you know,
And is there a big difference between turf and grass when you're playing soccer?
yeah, there is. There
little
is. The
faster?
ball, yeah, it's faster on the turf. The ball doesn't move quite as fast on the grass.
Yeah.
And it seems like a more natural place to play soccer. I suppose you could say the same about football, but up here you have to fields that are
Well,
ready for any kind of
We-
weather.
We wanted a field. They spent a lot of money to get that field
Yeah.
done. So,
Yeah,
and it's a beautiful field.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
The track is gorgeous. The scoreboard, thanks to all the people who donated
Donated,
into that, the Gustafson family for one. I mean, putting that money into that
Yep.
scoreboard is gorgeous.
And I just noticed when I was out there last Thursday the softball layout. I'd never noticed it before, but now. So
Yeah, the only I would say if there's a blemish is just that they can't put a backstop. I mean, they can,
they can't. There will be.
but it's not like, but we have a track,
Yeah.
which I like better that we have a track. Now, Mountain Iron, we've talked about this, doesn't have a track, so they have.
Well, it would just be like El Nyberg. It's 40 feet.
Yeah, yeah, except that would be about 100. Yeah, on one
Wait a minute, I'll be here
one
with
wild
you.
pitch you could score on.
Yeah,
You could
home
score
run.
from first base. But they put up a turtle shell
Yep.
and that behind there, so it's not outrageously bad if you get a wild pitch or anything.
No.
And I'd rather again have the track, because look what Mountain Iron has. They have a circular pavement thing that's not
Yep.
even, to practice on. I don't know how they have good track teams over there when you have to don't have a track, unless they go to Rock Ridge and train. So,
Who knows?
yeah.
What else?
Swimming
Swimming.
did beat Superior, and now they have a meet tonight against Cloquet. They're young. They only have 2 seniors. But they do have Rainey Gibson return. She's a junior, and she was 9th in the consolation champion at the state meet last year. So they do have her back, and they have a bunch of other talented swimmers.
Yep.
So we'll see how they do, and of course Vanziano will coach them up. And then tennis, it's been a little bit of a rough start for them, even though it's like 3 weeks in. But they've won their fair share, but I think they've probably lost more. But they're playing bigger schools,
Yep.
And that gets tough too.
Well, the weather's sure been good for them to play, though.
It has. So we'll see. I'm not sure when their next meet is. I know they have an invite coming up, probably next weekend, because this weekend there's really nothing going on.
Yep.
So that opens things up for me to golf in the 3-man scramble at the Muni.
There you go.
So
Bring some extra golf.
thank
balls.
you for not scheduling any games this weekend. I appreciate it.
I think one thing we got to make clear, though, Gary, is that when we do this show, we're not here to lambast or put down any team or athlete. We're here just to tell it the way we see it. And unfortunately, the Hibbing Athletic program needs a shot in the arm for some of these teams. And how you do that, we discuss that every time we come on. What do you do? Is it is it the lack of interest by kids, not enough kids playing? Is it coaching? What is it? And it's just, sometimes it gets to be a little mind-boggling. So I just want to make it very clear for all our 3 fans that watch out there that we're not here, we're here to support all the Hibbing athletics and college. And, if somebody had a comment, they can always email Ron on our
Sure.
website.
They can email Ron.
Which you never check.
Yeah.
I
But I just want to make that clear, that we're not here to lambast a student, athlete, coach, or anybody. It's tough.
That's the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the proof is on the field.
Right.
And that's the way it goes. The college volleyball team, thank goodness Travis Vaki got that started up again. It's got about, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11 players. So they're back up and running. I don't think they've won yet, but there's talent on the team. They just have to, like he said last night when they lost to Rainy River last night, which had about 15 girls, and she used a different lineup in the 3 games that they played, and but they just make too many. Sometimes there's too many unforced errors, and that takes them. That helps the other team get. You know, he said in the first game against Rainy River, Rainy River had 15 kills, so that's 15 of the 25 points. So the other 10 came off of unforced errors. So they just have to cut down on those. Their setter is good. They have some good hitters. Hopefully they, but it's their first year back, and all these other teams have a whole lot of experience on them. So they'll be fine, and at least the program's up and running again.
Good. Boy, I watched that Texas-Wisconsin volleyball matchup on ESPN the other night. Talk about some female athletes. Holy moly.
It's a quick game. Oh, did we talk about the I think we forgot about volleyball.
Yeah, you did. That's why I brought it up.
All right,
Remind you, you had to kick it in gear.
They've had a couple matches where they've won the first set in each match, but then all of a sudden the other team comes back and then wins the next 3. So that's unfortunate for them. But I do like the way they look this year. They're a lot better. But now, I don't know how to bring this up, but their setter, I guess, broke her foot the other night.
Oh, jeez.
And they took her to the clinic or hospital, and they had it x-rayed, and she came back later on in the match and had a cast on it. But you could tell that it just wasn't the same team without her. So it's unfortunate that she's out, but I guess what are you going to do?
Well, good teams have, when someone gets hurt, you got to have someone to step up and fill the void. That's something the Twins sure don't have.
Yeah. But if she's out for the year, which I don't know that.
Right.
It's going to be a big loss, and like you said, those other girls have to step up and fill their role for her. But I think Coach Huyu wanted to run a 6-2 offense, and now I got to think that she's going back to a 5-1, if you know anything about volleyball.
You lost me at 6-2.
Yeah, I don't get 6-2 either, but I think 6-2 means you have 2 setters on the court all the time. One will be in the back row and one will be in the front row. But
I understand football and baseball.
Yeah.
Hockey, yep. Volleyball, soccer.
No. So that hopefully they'll rebound and get over this injury and have a decent year. They do have 1 win. They beat Deer River beginning of the year, and again against against Proctor and against Mesabi East, they won the first set in both those matches, but they just couldn't carry that momentum over into games 2, 3, and 4. So
that is one sport though that you need a lot of endurance. Like you win one set, you got to make sure you get that killer instinct to get the next 2. So
and they work hard. There's no doubt, and they're tired, I'm sure, after a match.
Yeah.
So good luck to them the rest of the season.
All right. Well, here we go.
Vikings.
Oh boy.
Start Sunday.
Giants
against the Giants.
Lost number 1.
Well.
All for one of them or the other.
Yeah. Whether they have a perfect season or not, we'll be seeing at about 3:30 on Sunday.
I'll bet you $20 right now that they don't have a winning season. Not unless an undefeated season.
They are tied for first place right now.
They are tied for first place.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
can you be? I'm thinking about this. Can you be undefeated when you haven't started yet? 0-0 is not exactly being undefeated.
Well, do you count
Or
the
technically,
preseason games?
No.
Okay.
No preseason games. But
so, what do you predict?
Well, I haven't done. I should have done that. I should have written that column. I didn't do that. I've been falling asleep. It's been so busy.
We were looking at the schedule before we came on the air. I don't see them winning more than 4 games.
That might be the case.
Yeah.
But it all depends.
But
They have the receivers.
Yes, they do.
They have the running back. They have the tight end when he gets back from injury.
When he gets back.
And then they have the offensive line, evidently. That's what we've been told.
Yep.
That all comes down to one guy.
Their quarterback.
Yes.
And according to the Viking fan line or whatever it is that they have on the radio, they were talking the other day. I was driving back from the cities last night listening to them. Oh, Darnold's going to have a great year and the Vikes are going to win 9 games. And, you know.
Well, that's the big question. I mean, same with the Giants. They have all the other pieces, but Daniel Jones.
Yep.
I heard this yesterday, so this isn't my take. I'm not going to steal somebody else's take, and that's what it is for the Vikings. It all comes down to Sam Darnold, and he's.
And what if he gets hurt?
Well, if he gets hurt, then
They got rid of Hall.
yeah. So then you have Nick Mullins and Hall.
Who?
Nick, yeah, who? But if Sam Darnold, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be fantastic.
He does throw a nice ball.
Yes, and he's got the receivers and the running back.
Yep.
All he has to do is be efficient. And if he's efficient, they will be in a lot of games.
Right.
So then it'll come down to the defense, which we know is the defensive backfield hasn't been very good, and I don't know how good it's going to be this year. They got a bunch of old guys back there. So how the defensive line and linebackers rush rush the quarterback, that's going to be a big key.
Yep.
So
Gophers, I blame their coach for their loss.
well, go ahead.
I do. I mean,
Well, I'm not.
it was really a good. I watched the game. It was a fun game to watch. You know, it was back and forth. You got the biggest line in both college or professional football. Each guy's over 320 pounds, and you know they came back. They ran the ball well. They got into position. They're down by 1 point. Then they bring their field goal kicker, who missed the field goal earlier, to the right. So the coach, in his wisdom of how to play the game, decides to run the last running play and move the ball to the right hash mark. Well, the guy dismissed it to the right. Instead of running to the center of the field and setting them there and giving him an opportunity to kick it, and then what does he do? He hits it to the right and they lose the game. I put that on coaching.
Well, and they're the only Big Ten team to have lost
Right.
this last weekend.
And their kicker is supposed to be some type of All-American.
Oh, he's an All-American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
He's an All-American, so that we'll see. They have Rhode Island, which is an FBS school, I believe.
Yep.
So I guess they've been talking about the line coming out, the betting line, and I guess there hasn't been one out yet. So I don't know if they can do a betting line with FBS schools.
yeah, I don't know.
So not that anybody cares, but I just think it's kind of funny that gambling runs everything nowadays. And
I think I might want to comment too. How about the coach from Colorado? You know
Mr.
what I'm talking
Dion,
about?
yeah.
Dion. He gets after the game, and all he can talk about is his kid and the fact that pro scouts got to see what they wanted to see. Don't talk about your team and how well they played to come back to beat Dakota. Was it North Dakota?
North Dakota
And-
State, I think.
Yeah, but the guy does not belong in football. I'm sorry.
No.
But I got my 2 cents in.
But I'm like, their best running back, the Gophers, is already out.
Yeah.
I mean, nicked up. I know it's football. I just shocks me.
He's got the Byron Buxton disease.
Yeah, well, he's got that and Carlos Correa disease because I don't know if this is the right saying, but the best attribute an athlete can have is his availability.
Right.
And either the Twins or the Gophers or the Vikings, there's no availability there with some of their players.
Yeah.
And maybe not the Vikings yet,
Yeah.
but
Or we're saving, like the Vikings running back I got from Green Bay. We're saving him. We're keeping his legs fresh.
yeah. Well, I can see where they don't play them all in preseason, I guess.
Yeah,
but
well.
I don't know if they need to get hit once in a while to
What's
to
part of
kind
the game, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to leave a few more minutes, and we're going to talk about your favorite team because I know it frustrates you so much, and that's the Minnesota
The
Twins,
Twins.
who had an opportunity to take the lead, go into, and now they're going to blow their chances on making it as the wild card.
Well, they're like 3 or 4.5 games up in that for the last wild card, so I don't know if they'll blow that, but
Well, they keep throwing those 4 pitchers
Well,
out that you mentioned yesterday.
yeah.
Larry, Curly, Moe, and
Yeah.
who was the other one? Shem?
Enriquez, Varland, Blewett, who didn't blow the game, by the way.
Well,
don't
Duran
think that-
blew one the other night.
Well, Duran's been not very good this year.
Jesus.
And then Tonkin. Now, I've heard of the names,
Minnetonka.
but why are they're that hard pressed for pitching? that Louis Varland, if he's going to pitch in the majors, should be a relief pitcher. And now he came in relief, but Henriquez only went 1 inning.
Yeah.
And he didn't give up any runs, which was good.
Well, now they're talking to maybe moving Jax as their closer and getting him.
Well, they should try something, and because Durant, like you said, I know we're segueing off a bunch of different things, but Durant has not been good this
No.
year. I mean, his ERA is above 3, I believe. Maybe it's even above 4
Ever
at
since
this
they
point.
start playing that, turning the lights off and playing
Yeah.
that music.
Oh, I was there. I was there on the 24th. One of my buddies rented a suite.
Oh, that's right. Your baseball
Our
team.
softball team went down there, and it was a great time. But
Good.
yeah, that was the first time I've seen that where they turned off all the lights when he came in the 9th inning. Fortunately, they were up 6-0, so they couldn't actually hopefully blow it. But
Well, they got a bunch of young kids playing too. I mean, Martin blew it last night, and that before that it's Miranda, and they got some young kids that can play. But is Balboa the guy? Rocky.
Rocky Balboa.
Is
I
he?
love
Is
that.
he? Is he? The right guy to have guiding the ship?
Well, it's not like baseball is rocket science.
No.
I mean, I know they want to go by numbers now and percentages and all that stuff, and I can't think of the other word, but
To me, there's too much computeration, and
Well,
I like that word I came up with.
there you go.
They
That's it.
rely too much on statistics and strategy that they get off an iPad that tells them how to play the game. Just put the iPad down and let's play the game it used to be played.
Yeah.
Is the other word probability?
Probabilities.
That's probably it.
Yeah.
Probability.
And if you're a manager, take a hunch. Go with your gut. If you think a guy can play him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, baseball is a game of failure anyway.
Right.
So every 3, best hitters get 3 hits every 10 at bats. So it's not like it's.
Oh, we gotta go.
But we
Hey, go Twins!
Go Twins. So for Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. We'll see you again on Home Team Advantage.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support. HPAT thanks Premier Fitness at the Lux for their donation and support. They welcome individual and family memberships. To learn more, call them at 218-440-1191. Up North Lettering specializes in embroidery and heat vinyl press applications, along with patches and letter jackets. For more information, call them at 218-966-7850. HPAT would like to thank them for their donation and support. Hibbing Public Access Television would like to thank Mediacom for all the years they have supported our organization. Visit their office at 3105 East Beltline, Suite number 2 here in Hibbing, and give them a call at 855-633-4226.